Britain in the 1960s was a country on the move. New motorways, rising incomes, and a booming car industry meant people weren't just buying transportation anymore. They were chasing status, style, and success. For millions of families, these luxury British cars weren't just vehicles. They were impossible dreams parked behind showroom windows. Here are 10 British cars that everyone dreamed of owning in the 1960s. Number 10. Armstrong Siddeley Star Sapphire. Our countdown begins with one of Britain's most elegant forgotten luxury cars. The Armstrong Siddeley Star Sapphire represented the final chapter of a company that had spent decades building refined automobiles for Britain's upper class. By 1960, it wasn't the newest luxury car on the market, but it remained one that people admired from a distance. Unlike flashy American cars covered in chrome, the Star Sapphire relied on quiet elegance. Its long bonnet, upright grille, and perfectly balanced proportions gave it an unmistakably distinguished appearance. It looked like the kind of car that belonged outside a country estate rather than a busy city street. Under the bonnet sat a smooth 4.0-liter straight-six engine that delivered effortless performance rather than outright speed. It wasn't designed to impress at traffic lights. It was built to cruise comfortably for hundreds of miles without disturbing its passengers. Step inside, and the craftsmanship became even more impressive. Soft leather seats, polished walnut trim, deep carpets, and beautifully finished instruments reminded buyers that luxury wasn't measured by gadgets. It was measured by quality. The problem? Very few people could actually afford one. Its price placed it well beyond the reach of ordinary British families, making it one of those cars people admired while saying, maybe one day. Sadly, that day never came for Armstrong Siddeley itself. The company ended car production shortly afterwards, turning the Star Sapphire into the last great luxury car. To wear the famous badge, our next car became a favorite of executives, politicians, and successful businessmen throughout Britain. Number 9. Daimler Sovereign. By the mid-1960s, Daimler had entered a completely new era. Following Jaguar's takeover of the company, the Daimler Sovereign combined Jaguar engineering with Daimler prestige, creating one of Britain's most desirable executive cars. From the outside, it looked sophisticated without being over the top. Its elegant body lines, distinctive fluted grille, and tasteful chrome details made it look expensive without needing to shout about it. Power came from Jaguar's famous 4.2-liter straight-six engine. The performance was smooth, refined, and surprisingly quick, allowing drivers to cruise effortlessly on Britain's growing motorway network. Inside, everything reflected traditional British luxury. Rich leather upholstery, polished wood veneer, comfortable seating, and excellent visibility made every journey feel special. For company directors and successful professionals, the Sovereign represented the perfect balance. It had Jaguar performance with an even more exclusive badge. Many people walking past one in a dealership knew they would probably never own it. But dreaming was free, and few executive cars inspired dreams quite like the Daimler Sovereign. Our next entry became one of the biggest luxury bargains Britain ever produced at number 8, Jaguar Mark X. When Jaguar revealed the Mark X in 1961, it immediately became the largest and most luxurious car the company had ever built. It looked enormous. Its wide stance, sweeping curves, huge chrome grille, and commanding presence made it impossible to ignore. Park one beside an ordinary family saloon, and the difference felt enormous. Yet the Mark X wasn't just about appearance. Under the bonnet sat Jaguar's legendary straight-six engine, first in 3.8-liter form before later growing to 4.2 liters. The result was remarkable. This giant luxury saloon could comfortably cruise at motorway speeds while delivering performance that embarrassed many smaller cars. Open the doors, and the cabin looked like a gentleman's private lounge. Beautiful walnut dashboards, soft leather seats, thick carpets, and enough rear legroom to make passengers feel like VIPs. Business leaders, diplomats, and wealthy professionals quickly fell in love with it. Perhaps the biggest surprise was its value. Compared with Rolls-Royce, the Mark X offered incredible luxury for significantly less money. For many people, it became the closest thing to owning a Rolls-Royce without actually buying one. But our next car carried one of Britain's most famous names. Number 7. Bentley T-Series. In 1965, Bentley introduced a completely new generation of luxury motoring. The Bentley T-Series looked cleaner, lower, and more modern than previous Bentleys, gone with a separate chassis and traditional body construction. Instead, Bentley embraced modern engineering while keeping everything buyers loved about the brand. Its styling wasn't loud. In fact, many people barely noticed it. But that was exactly the point. The people buying Bentleys didn't want attention. They wanted quiet confidence. Power came from a silky smooth V8 engine that delivered effortless acceleration without raising its voice. Inside, almost everything was handcrafted, leather-stitched by skilled craftsmen, real walnut veneers, deep carpeting, and build quality that few manufacturers anywhere in the world could match. Owning a Bentley wasn't about showing off. It quietly announced that you had already succeeded. Even today, many enthusiasts believe the T-Series remains one of the most underrated luxury Bentleys ever produced. But our next car became Britain's favorite choice for prime ministers and government ministers alike. Number 6. Rover P5B. Few British cars earned as much respect during the late 1960s as the Rover P5B. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't exotic. Yet almost everyone admired it. Introduced in 1967, the P5B quickly became the preferred transport for senior politicians, business executives, and government officials. Even several British prime ministers chose the Rover over far more expensive luxury cars. That alone tells you everything about its reputation. Its clean styling gave it timeless elegance. No unnecessary chrome. No dramatic curves. Just confidence. Under the bonnet sat Rover's superb 3.5-liter V8 engine. The performance felt effortless, while the smooth automatic gearbox made long-distance journeys incredibly relaxing. Inside, buyers enjoyed leather upholstery, polished wood trim, generous seating, and an atmosphere that felt quietly luxurious. It wasn't trying to compete with Rolls-Royce. Instead, it created its own identity. Reliable, comfortable, respectable. For thousands of ambitious Britons during the late 1960s, owning a Rover P5B meant they had finally made it. But the top 5 cars on our list became even bigger dreams. And the next one remains one of Britain's greatest hidden masterpieces. Number 5, Alvis TD21. At number 5 is a luxury car that many people admired, but very few could actually afford. The Alvis TD21 arrived in 1963, built by one of Britain's oldest and most respected manufacturers. Unlike Jaguars or Rovers, Alvis never chased huge sales. Instead, the company focused on craftsmanship. Every TD21 was largely hand-built, making each car feel special before it even left the factory. Its elegant body, designed by Park Ward, featured a long bonnet, graceful roofline, and tasteful chrome that looked sophisticated rather than flashy. Power came from a smooth 3.0-liter straight-six engine that delivered relaxed performance perfect for long-distance touring. Inside, buyers found polished walnut wood, thick leather seats, deep carpets, and handcrafted details throughout the cabin. Owning an Alvis wasn't about showing off. It quietly told people that you'd made it. Production remained limited, making the TD21 one of Britain's most exclusive luxury cars. For many enthusiasts during the 1960s, it represented the dream of owning something few neighbors would ever have. Number 4, Jensen Interceptor. Few British cars looked as dramatic as the Jensen Interceptor. Introduced in 1966, it blended Italian styling with American V8 power to create one of Britain's greatest grand tours. The sleek body immediately stood out. Its enormous wraparound rear window became one of the most distinctive designs of the decade. Under the bonnet sat a powerful Chrysler V8 that delivered effortless acceleration and relaxed motorway cruising. Inside, the luxury matched the performance. Leather upholstery, polished wood, thick carpeting, automatic transmission, and optional air conditioning gave owners a level of comfort rarely found in British sports cars. The Interceptor wasn't cheap. But successful businessmen, celebrities, and wealthy enthusiasts loved the combination of speed and sophistication. Even today, it remains one of Britain's most desirable grand touring cars. Number 3. Aston Martin DB6. When Aston Martin launched the DB6 in 1965, it had an almost impossible task. It had to follow the legendary DB5. Fortunately, it succeeded. The DB6 refined everything buyers already loved. Its longer body improved practicality while maintaining Aston Martin's timeless styling. The famous 4.0-liter straight-six delivered smooth, yet thrilling performance. It could cruise comfortably all day before transforming into a genuine sports car whenever the driver wanted excitement. Inside, everything reflected British craftsmanship. Soft leather, beautiful wood veneers, and elegant instruments created an interior that felt both luxurious and sporting. The DB6 quickly became a favorite among celebrities, racing drivers, and successful entrepreneurs. For many people growing up during the 1960s, this wasn't simply a car. It was the poster hanging on the bedroom wall. Number 2. Jaguar XJ6. Few cars changed Britain's luxury market like the Jaguar XJ6. Launched in 1968, it immediately became the benchmark for executive motoring. Designed by Jaguar founder Sir William Lyons himself, the XJ6 combined elegant styling with remarkable performance and comfort. Its flowing body looked modern without losing traditional British character. Under the bonnet sat Jaguar's famous straight-six engine, delivering smooth performance that rivaled cars costing considerably more. Inside, buyers enjoyed polished walnut dashboards, leather upholstery, comfortable seats, and exceptional refinement. Motoring journalists around the world praised its ride quality, handling, and incredible value. Many believed nothing else offered so much luxury for the money. For countless ambitious professionals, the XJ6 became the ultimate symbol that they had finally made it. Number 1. Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Taking the number 1 position can only be one car. The Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Introduced in 1965, it represented the very highest level of British luxury. Everything about the Silver Shadow was designed to feel effortless. Its elegant proportions, famous grille, and spirit of ecstasy announced success without saying a single word. Beneath the bonnet sat a smooth V8 engine paired with advanced self-leveling suspension that made rough roads almost disappear beneath the car. Inside, passengers experienced handcrafted perfection. Beautiful walnut veneers, incredibly soft leather, deep carpets, and near-silent refinement created an atmosphere closer to a private lounge than a motor car. Business leaders, royalty, celebrities, and diplomats all chose the Silver Shadow because it represented ultimate achievement. For millions of ordinary people, however, it remained exactly that, a dream. A car they admired from the pavement, hoping that one day they might sit behind that famous grille. Even today, more than half a century later, the Silver Shadow still represents one of the greatest luxury cars Britain has ever built. The 1960s gave Britain some of the most beautiful and prestigious luxury cars the world has ever seen. Whether it was a handcrafted Alvis, a powerful Aston Martin, an elegant Jaguar, or the unmatched prestige of Rolls-Royce, every car on this list represented success, craftsmanship, and ambition. Which one would have been your dream car back in the 1960s? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to UKTorque for more fascinating stories from Britain's golden age of motoring.